tap in with your attitude, you know what I mean? And always, kind of take stock with the thoughts that you employing at that moment, because, your thoughts become your actions. And if you always thinking that the world is out to get you, if you're always thinking that you just need a label to do this, or you can't go anywhere without someone helping you, or your friends or your family not helping you, it's just like you won't always stay at a certain place. And Gerald Walker is he a son, he a brother, he a friend, you know what I'm saying? He an entrepreneur, a creative, you know what I mean? Rapper, songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into, the meats and the potatoes.
Sure.
Tell us about this EP, because I'm excited.
Yeah. The EP is I got the vinyl EP. The World Will Spin Without You. You know what I mean? My EP. This is my, I would say, 11th release on Blue Collar Gang, my boy Styly's record label and imprint. 11 since 2018, so definitely been in a good workspace. It's an EP about new beginnings and fresh starts. You know what I mean? Realizing that, things happen that's in your control, that's outside of your control, and you just got to pick those things up and, you feel me, just go, keep living. You know what I mean? One foot in front of the other.
It was interesting when I was listening to the EP. Like, at first, as I was processing, I was like, I was trying to figure out, what was going on in each particular song. And I was like, okay, let me continue listening. Maybe I'll get the point after a while. And I got to like the end, and you got that video that's sitting at the end, the big Kahuna.
Yeah.
Talk about that, because I was really interested in that, and that's how that got. I kind of figured out like what was going on.
Yeah. So I want to say I saw that movie back in, I think, man, I was still living with my mom. I saw that 2008. I saw that movie, and that scene always resonated with me. And I think right then when I saw it, I made a song called "The World Will Spin Without You," and I released it. OK Player had premiered it at the time, and it just always stuck with me. Just like, nah, we got to expound upon that. And usually I get these ideas, or I get these song titles, I get these EP titles or project titles, and I just go from there. Like, okay. And that was just one that was just like, all right, this one next. I gotta work on this. And watching that scene, man, I saw myself as the young kid, Bob, you know what I mean? And, he has a lot of idealistic thoughts on how the world is. And, then listening to Danny DeVito, it's just like, damn, man, it's just that wisdom and it's that experience. And I just kind of wanted to convey that from both sides. You know what I mean?
Okay. That sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Word.
And that was probably like my little first time sitting down and listening. Because usually it's sometimes I'll I'll take break from music and just listening to it. And then when, somebody comes along and, actually be like, well, I have to listen to this so I, know what to, say and things like that.
Right.
And as I was, processing everything and just, going through the EP, it, I was talking to somebody and, they was like, oh, I heard that name before. I was like, really? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because normally, South Carolina, they, I don't know, they tend to be to themselves in terms of the artists. They, they keep to themselves, so to speak, and they kind of stay inside that bubble and don't try to reach out and, collaborate, those kind of things.
Sure.
So, it was surprised that, somebody heard about you.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that. You know what I mean?
What's, what was the process for writing, the EP and, going through the different things you had to get to get where you're at now?
Well, my writing process is, I look at everything in seasons. So I'm not one of those artists that like goes to the studio every night and work. I haven't written a song since maybe the end of February. So what I do, I like to live a lot. I like to go out. I like to make my own mistakes. I like to talk to my elders. I like to talk to the big homies, the OGs, the little homies, and just pick up on perspectives. And when something clicks, it's like I mentally store it, and it gets stored. And when I get back into a wave of inspiration, it's just like, damn, the pen is going. All those things come back. So maybe I'll get in another season where I'm just recording and writing, and man, I can knock out 10, 11 songs in like a week, 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And usually when I'm feeling that wave, I just stop everything. I stop all my businesses. I stop everything, and I'm just pouring out because, inspiration is one of those things that doesn't come on demand. You know what I mean? Not in the way that I want to write. Like a lot of artists can just write and it's really technical and the rhyme patterns is crazy, but I like saying certain things that like hit and connect with your soul, you know what I mean? Or just be like, damn. Or it's a quotable, like, damn, you know what I mean? And I think for that, you just got to spend time living, it's almost like a comedian. Comedians just go out and observe the world. And that's what I do too, just observe and then bring it back. So, that's really what it was, man. I was in Madrid, Spain earlier this year, late last year and early this year. And just taking a lot of experience I had going on tour with styling, and I just let it all go out. You know what I mean?
Out of all those experiences, just kind of give us an idea of what you learned.
It's a big world, man. As big as it's like the world is big and the world is small at the same time. You know what I mean? And no matter our differences, at the end of the day, people be wanting the same shit. You know what I mean? They want to live their lives. They want to make their own paper. You know what I mean? They want to send their kids to have good education, send them to good schools, get good education. And as different as we all kind of are the same. You know what I mean? And just seeing different cultures is just different from my culture. It's just like, damn, not everyone thinks like I do. You know what I mean? Not everyone sees the world like I do. And just having those conversations, and even when I'm getting in a discussion or a debate, fighting mentally for the right of people to just have different opinions than mine and just accepting it for what they are. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's an interesting, point that you brought up, because I've seen, just kind of talking to different artists and things like that. I've seen, some artists that they're still learning. They still don't know a lot of things. And then there are some that are just, how do you say it? They're in between. They're still trying to figure it out. And you got some on the back end that are not necessarily trying to be professional, but they want to. And it's, I don't know, it's been real crazy, just kind of seeing different artists and their perspectives and what their goal is, whether it's a record label or, I don't know, staying independent or, doing those things like that.
Yeah. That's real. That's real. Yeah.
So, I'm just curious, what's Blue Collar Gang, give me the rundown on that.
Yeah. So Blue Collar Gang is a multifaceted company. It's a record label. It's a management company. And more than anything, it's just a collective started by Stolly from Madison, Ohio. And it's just deeply rooted in working hard, loving your family, and just most importantly, just being yourself. You know what I mean? So, I'm a part of the collective and the management side. And it's just been a blessing, bro. Like it's been a real blessing, man. Stolly, he fucked with me. Him and my manager BJ, they extended the olive branch at a point in time where I had doubts about me continuing on, and I had got to a precipice where I was like, bro, I don't even think I got anything left in me, man. Like, and I just remember like praying and just like, damn, man, like if something don't shake, man, I think I'm gonna really kind of just give it up. You know what I mean? And I don't really talk like that. I'm usually positive. I'm usually, you know what I mean? But I had really got to a point like, damn, I don't think I got nothing left in the tank. And then just by having someone like him of his caliber be like, nah, bro, like come fuck with us. Like we see you. And like I said, bro, like that kind of even proved me wrong that, I'm on my 11th release since 2018 just for Blue Collar Gang. So, just having people like that that's older that can kind of speak to you, kind of coach you, mentor you, you know what I mean, let you mess up, you know what I mean? When you out of line, be like, yo, you out of line, you feel me? it's just good, bro. And it's something that I respect. And, you know, it's a place that if you are independent minded entrepreneurial artist, you can thrive. You know what I mean? At BCG.
And, you know, taking this COVID-19 situation, how's that, you know, has that affected you? Has that made you grow any?
Yeah. You know, again, you know, the COVID, it's just like seasons. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think I have a good understanding of seasons. And I don't try to fight things. I just let it go with the flow. So if, you know, in New York, we getting pretty, we getting rocked compared to the rest of the country when it comes to the stay at home orders and, you know, the lockdowns. And, you know, if I'm in that season, it's just like, oh, embrace it. You know, what else can I do? You know, okay, I can work on my businesses. I can read more. I can do, you know what I mean? The thing is, you know, focus on the things that I can't control. That's it. I can't control whether they open up outside. I can't control whether I get COVID-19. I mean, I have a measure of control. You feel me? I can put on gloves. I can take vitamins. I can eat healthy. So, but I mean, if I go out there and someone sneezes on me and I contract it, I can't necessarily control that. You know what I mean? So the things that I can control, just do it and don't worry about anything else. Just stay present minded. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about yesterday. Just, you know, just keep working. You feel me?
And in terms of music, you know, how did you get your start exactly? You know,
I got my start just in college. I went to Columbia College in Chicago, one of the best, if not the best, art school in Chicago, and it was just a melting pot of just artistic and creative people. And I remember listening to Little Brother from North Carolina, listening to a verse by Fonte called "What You Do," and I just remember, you know, it's like that saying. It's like that saying, people don't remember what you say, they remember how you make them feel. And I just remember hearing his verse and just being like, damn, like that shit hit me. And it's like, yo, I want to give people that same feeling too. So that's why I started to rap, you know what I mean? And I felt like I had a unique perspective that was kind of different that I could offer. And I just started doing it, then linked up with Cardo, a record producer who did, I think at the time he was working with Wiz Khalifa and the Taylor Gang. And but I mean he did Drake's God's Plan and Goosebumps, you know what I mean, with Travis and Kendrick. So he kind of ascended to a whole nother level, which I'm very proud of. But he gave me my first shot in developing me. And then linked up with Stolly, bro. And like, you know, they've taken stock in developing me as well. And I think when you listen to my first records and just see how I handle myself and I comport myself to where I am today, I kind of typify. I'm a perfect example of how artists can thrive and how artists can grow when people take the time out to develop them. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be where I am without those dudes. So yeah, that's how I got my start, and that's where I am today.
And I gotta ask you about your Instagram, bro. Like,
sure.
the way you have it set up is very interesting in terms of, you know, how you got everything laid out, and then you got the different cities, and then you got the records. Like, you know, how did you even decide on that particular layout?
Yeah, I think that's a layout that I originally saw. One of my favorite rappers named Odyssey. He was on tour and he did it for 6 weeks. And he was in Europe and he did it a little differently. How I have the cities, he had the cities with like an actual picture of the city. So I saw that and I was like, damn, that's really dope. But then I kind of saw him, he just did it for like that month, a little over a month, and then he just stopped doing it. And I'm like, bro, why is he not? That's like crazy. Then I saw a French eyeglass company named Sabine B. And they had it set up a little of the same way. So I just kind of took that, did it my own way, kind of combined two different things. It just came across like that. You feel me? And people have been rocking with it. And it's so funny. People fuck with my Instagram so much that they don't even realize that I make music, bro. Like they just like you know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy. So
that's lit. I mean, yeah. It shows, you know, like you're multifaceted, and, you know, you're not just thinking on that basic level. You're up there, and, you know, in terms of that high level of thinking, and you know what you're, you know, trying to achieve.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. That's extremely flattering. No, I appreciate that.
What are some advice or some tips or suggestions you got for artists that are, trying to, reach that top level?
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, just always check in and tap in with your attitude. You know what I mean? And always, kind of take stock with the thoughts that you employing at that moment, because your thoughts become your actions. And if you always thinking that the world is out to get you, if you're always thinking that you just need a label to do this, or you can't go anywhere without someone helping you, or your friends and your family not helping you, it's just like you're gonna always stay at a certain place. But at the same time, like, the mind is so great that you can control how you think. And as soon as you get like a thought or impression, you can just easily wipe that shit away and just be like, well, you know what? I can't do a lot, but I'm gonna just do what I can. And when you do what you can, I feel like that's all any other artist can really ask of you. Any real nigga, any hustler out there, just, you can't do anything, bro. Just do what you can at the moment, and just always strive. And if things are pan out exactly the way you want them to, but just keep a good attitude, man, and stay diligent. And the chips will fall how they supposed to. That's what I'll say. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how, I guess, some people, they got circle of friends and, things like that. And I always tell people this story because it's, it resonates with a lot of people. Like, I had a homeboy, his friends and whatnot, they were all on, Apple, Spotify, but he wasn't. And, he was asking them, hey, how do I get on such and such platform? And they curved him, was like, I ain't about to tell that nigga.
Yeah.
So, and he was spending, like, let's say, what was it, 150 on Spinrilla, because somebody was, uploading it and whatnot. And I told him one day, I was like, bro, what are you doing? You're not about to do that no more. We're gonna take that 150 and we're gonna put it, towards DistroKid and whatever else we could think of.
Yeah.
So I told him, look, I'll help you set up DistroKid. I'll even upload your first couple of albums until you get it.
Yeah.
So now he's at the point where he can, upload, find the things he needs to find, and I'll even throw him out, a couple of designers or just people that do animation to see if he wants to, get something done.
Yeah.
And that's how that's been rocking ever since. And we often talk a lot about support, and that's kind of been like a main thing here as well in South Carolina. Like, a lot of artists don't feel like they're getting the support. But I also noticed, because I've been, putting on open mics in January and February, and some of these artists, they come out here, they've never performed before, or they just really new to a lot of things, the crowd's reaction, seeing how things are going to go. And I've set up a couple of different things before, and one person, they didn't, the crowd didn't react to them like how they thought. And they they sort of stopped in mid performance, but they kind of caught themselves. It's been a wild ride in terms of, just seeing how people adjust to their surroundings, their settings, and growing. And, it's been a roller coaster, and it's interesting.
No, it is interesting, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying too. Like, with your homie, like, no one was helping him, but he did what he can. He did what he could. He was doing the best what he could to his ability that he knew. He was ignorant. You feel me? And you can't get mad at an ignorant person, because ignorant people just don't know any better. But when you know better, you do better. So he just kept spending the 150. He kept spending the 150. And then, like, I feel like God, the universe, has a way of, when you do what you can, having people like you come into your life like, bro, nah, it's a more efficient way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's just how life is, man. Like, you gonna have them seasons of making mistakes, bro. Like, I mean, I make mistakes. Every artist makes mistakes, and it's the ones that learn from them and just keep going, that good things that happen to them, whether it's the things that they want to happen or not. Like I say, I feel like things that happen to them exactly the way they should. You know what I'm saying? My social media handles are all the same. It's Walk, WALK, with WITH, and my first name, Gerald, GERALD. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, whatever, TikTok. It's all the same. So if you just remember Walk with Gerald, you can definitely tap in with me.